So as we continue on the same topic,
Mm.
a new America, all new again is saying there's been 3 attempts on my life just in the past 6 months. Why would it happen if I'm just nobody? Meaning targeted individual and the SSP and all this stuff.
Yeah. Can I just no? Did you want to start?
Go on, go on.
Well, there's lots of different possibilities, right? One is, you're just yeah, I'll tell you, 3 attempts on your life, and you're just a nobody. Yeah, in this life, you're a fucking nobody. In your other life, you might have been a fucking assassin. They figured your shit out, and I gotta get the fuck out of Dodge, and you leave that whole dimensional plane. You park it here on Earth, and you gotta lay low for a little while. You're just a little fucking nobody, and you got a mind wipe too. Why the fuck do you do that? We don't know yet, but there you are. It's like, I didn't do anything. Well, not here, not now, not in your brand new fresh life. Poor you. But if there's 3 attempts on your fucking life, something's going down. They want to take your ass out, obviously, but why? I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Well, it could be you're a fucking dangerous motherfucker. In if you, I was going to say if you drop dead and got out, if they're trying to fucking kill you, they probably want to take you somewhere else and put you in a tighter container because you might learn shit here on this plane. This plane is ruthless, but you can learn stuff here. They can throw you in a fucking box somewhere. You can learn shit. No internet where they want to put you. And I'm just speculating. I don't fucking know. Gil's the psychic around here, not me. I'm just.
Well, there's another thing. Present planet, end form, having a cattle. There are so many groups interested in Earth and the beings here. And they don't necessarily need to have a super duper agenda of you're the chosen one and you're the only one that's a threat. Think of mosquitoes or leeches. How much importance do they have? Do they give a fuck if they're gonna like get some blood from you or from someone else? They don't even give a damn. They just need the juice to keep on living and reproducing. And that's how some groups out there are seeing humans. They don't care if it's you or Sarah or Sally or David or someone else. They don't give a damn. It's just like, oh, humans. And this one specifically reacts. Like mosquitoes are more like, reacting and going to people who have a certain sweat. There's a certain attraction. So maybe like there are different groups with different focuses. Certain people stand out one way or the other. There are people who are triggered more in life. And it's like, oh, look, whenever we trigger this person, they are reacting more so we can get more loosh. So how about we look for people who are easily triggered and then get really stressed and anxious and reactive and they cry and it's easy for them to go on this emotional roller coaster ride up and down and then we can really crush them in life, take away their shit, break them to the point where they want to commit suicide, but they're afraid as can be, so they're stuck, they won't be able to, and they'll suffer, and they're gonna take a week or two to kind of like bring themselves back together. And whenever they're kind of like, oh, life is getting good again, they're gonna smash down and try to trigger you again, and it keeps on happening. A lot of groups, different interests, but this whole thing with humans is just like a cattle to a lot of groups out there. Whether they can trigger you, whether they can get loose out of you, whether they see you as like super powerful being whose consciousness can manifest, go to war, create, destroy, and do so many other things. They know your abilities. It's just you here on Earth, assuming that you're Mr. or Mrs. Nobody, while you're a freaking god in a human body, but you don't give yourself that credit. And you're wondering, why am I being targeted? What, you're a fucking god? Gee, I wonder why. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't like Jesus, but then look at what he did with all the stories we have out there.
Yeah. Oh, God. Can I say, I would like to say
Go
a
on.
little bit more about, why being targeted. It could be, just in a past life, run around on this planet or some other planet. And you, uh, it happens a lot where a being wants balance. So you'll see it in little kids. If they accidentally hit a buddy, let's say they're just playing around and they accidentally hit a buddy too hard, and the little kid will go, no, hit me back. Let's make it even.
Mhm.
It comes natural. It's called the law of reciprocity. It's just natural human. Narcissists and psychopaths aren't like that. But the rest of us, decent people, sure. If I accidentally kill you, please kill me next time.
Right.
Okay. Just, I love you. I'm going to kill you to make you happy, right? You don't remember that shit in this life, but you could be, those that are attempting to kill you could be some of your best fucking asshole buddies in previous lives, and that you killed. And you guys are playing this fucking game. I'll kill you, you kill me. I'll kill you, you kill me. Your turn. Okay. And now you're mind wiped. We weren't always mind wiped. Sometimes we used to be able to remember past lives and stuff. I remember you. You're supposed to kill me, right? Anyway, there's that kind of shit.
Absolutely.
There's other things.
And a lot of it. We have people on a friend level or like different roles. So they might be best friends that are constantly trying to see each other level up. And it's like, I'm going to give you a challenge and I want to see you overcome it. And you've agreed on it 55 million years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
You've been playing this game, different roles, different lives. Sometimes you connect, sometimes you don't, but it's like, okay, let's just do it again. And they throw this challenge at you. You're a godlike being in a human body. You've lost your memories. You don't remember the agreement you've had with that being. They're your buddy. They're not trying to mess you up, but they're going to challenge you. Can you race like above that? It's like different circumstances out there. So many.
Yeah. And lastly, at least for me, until, so you've asked why, there's been an attempt on my life 3 times. We're not saying that you're bad and you deserve it, or that you're wrong, because, it's reciprocity. It's supposed to happen. No, we're just sharing with you some of the reasons and the possibilities of why, but we're trying to help you and whoever's watching take the high road and look at how we are ultimately responsible for our conditions. So this will give us a little bit of an edge, even if it's completely fucked. And it's hardcore directed energy weapons. There's a hardware fucking tower down there and it's pointed at your fucking bedroom. And you fucking know it. And you're feeling it and you're getting the burns on your fucking face and shit. It's like, you fucking know it. It's like, I didn't do anything in this life to deserve this shit. Why are they fucking with me? We don't know. And depending on where you are in the game and how you look at the game, you're the victim, or it's just part of the game and you decided to play. It's like playing chess. Why is he always checkmating me? He's always attacking and threatening to end the fucking game on me. They already killed my fucking queen. Why? It's chess. You're playing. It's human life experience. You're playing. On this planet, there's a lot of shit. And it's just, in that way, the game. On a subjective level, it's very serious and painful and emotionally traumatic. And it can mind fuck you a lot. But we're here to help unfuck the mind of it all and help you look at the high road or the high approach to unraveling it. But some people aren't ready for that. And they need to know, yeah, you're a victim of that shit. We don't know why. We'll look and we'll see what's going on. They don't like you. That's why they don't fucking like you, and they can get something from you that will make sense to you. And we can help. Well, what do I do now? I don't know yet. But yeah, it is difficult. All these problems that we have in life, they're not easy to solve, or we wouldn't be fucking talking about them or asking people how to help us. It's a shitstorm, and it's a handful. But there are ways to start understanding it and start being at cause over it. This is my understanding of it.
And I just wanted to add a little bit more onto it, because there are times where, in different situations, people look into the stars and think of the great things they could do. There's something out there. They have this feeling for a great purpose, or they're meant to do something big. There's just something waiting for them in this life. They experience stuff around them that triggered them. They read about reptilians and all this oppression, and they're like, if I had the ability, I would kill them all. And they call for justice and things they would do and how they would fight back. And if they could get out of body or in the astral, and if they had a chance to take the gun and be in the first row in that spaceship and stuff, doing stuff, they would take it. You're not thinking for that of just daydreaming. You're actually doing that. A lot of people get out of the body, they astral project, but they might not have the memory of it. Just the same way people are in the SSP and super soldiers and they have that memory suppressed. A lot of people get out of body, they do stuff. You want to kill them, you want to fight back, you want to have your vengeance on the reptilians or Dracos, you're doing that. You have a lot of other aspects where you consciously are sitting in this body, just daydreaming of things you could do and how you would fight back. You're setting the intention for other parts of you out there in space to do that, and you're wondering why you're being targeted while you're sitting doing nothing, being Mr. or Mrs. Nobody.
That's a good
You
point,
set up the
Agmila.
whole war. You've going on, killing off, destroying spaceships, killing beings, and they have massive losses. Seeing you as a massive threat, and where's the source? There's this little human sitting on a couch watching Netflix, daydreaming about killing us. And look at the losses. We've just lost 300 spaceships. Now the Galactic Federation is having issues. Now we have this and that and that. And you're just daydreaming and you're actually causing this? Yeah. There's something happening in the background. And a lot of people don't remember that stuff. Just like you fall asleep, you dream, and you don't remember most of your dreams. Oh, just like something happened. Yeah, it's not important. Yeah, not important? How about you actually teach your brain to pay attention to what's happening out there because you're doing stuff. You're fighting back. You're actually playing a massive role and you're thinking it's not important. But having some awareness out there where you're actually fighting and doing stuff and having influence, it's not just daydreaming, it's not just intentions, it's not just thoughts, it's not just a feeling state. You are creating stuff, you're causing a lot of things out there. But you might not have enough awareness of, am I actually doing this or am I imagining stuff? Now you're actually doing stuff.
Oh, Akvila got on a fucking roll that time. You go, girl. Oh, that's fucking wonderful.
I think there's just so many things behind it that to say this or this is the cause, we have to look at so many variations, and we're not just human beings. We're not just simple doing this and that. There's just so much stuff going on.
Yeah, we really have to step it up on who and what we really are. It's okay to be the human fucked up person or the okay person or the fucking great guy, but there's another part of us. It's a blend. It's there's 2 points of view, and a lot of the answers can be seen more clearly if you take that higher perspective or that understanding of a God being living life as a human.
And that's the thing where a lot of these beings in a way win, because we belittle ourselves, if that's the right word for it.
Yeah, belittle, yeah.
It's like we have a perception of being this and that and forgetting who we truly are, not paying attention to our abilities and just minimizing our importance, because there's just so many videos and belief systems like, oh, you're just one speck in this massive space, and just look, the earth is nothing and there's so much out there and you think you're important. You're not. Well, bullshit. I call bullshit on that one, because you're creating everything from that one little part.
Yeah, babe. Go get them. Now, are we still on that first subject? Or are we going to jump?
We're still in the SSP-20 and back target individuals.
Well, yeah. Well, let's fucking move it. No, I'm teasing.
Oh, okay. No. We have plenty of questions and people talking it up. I was just,
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. I would like to hear you talk more than I like to imagine them typing anyway. So, anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
It's all good. We have Gupta asking, have you seen Farsight Project on the SSP?
Farsight, I have seen Farsight, but not particularly on the SSP. Like if they did a target program on it. Let's talk about the SSP. No, I didn't see that one, but I've seen quite a few.
What are some of the things that stood out, like from stuff you've seen from the Farsight Institute? We watched it together, some other videos. Well, you watched it by yourself. We've talked about it. We made videos. But what are some of the things that did stand out from Farsight Institute that you watched?
One that jumps out is that time he had his like five remote viewers target, and they get a fucking number, right? And they go whatever, and they look at their number and they do that magic and they'll see shit. Well, the first one saw some religious figure in a robe being talked to by an evil dark entity. The second one saw a religious figure being interacted with and afraid of a dark entity. The third one, dark entity. Fourth one, dark entity. Religious figure. Well, the target was popes, and they were looking at all of them got a pope or a religious figure, and they were all talking to a handler. Four of the handlers were like evil, incorporeal, scary fucks, and the religious figure pope is having a conversation with and it's like, and the pope is like running millions of people through the Catholic religion, right? So these fucking handlers are incorporeal, non-physical, non-human handlers of a very powerful religious figure that is controlling humanity. And all five of them saw that. One of them was an actual in a human body. One of the handlers of a pope was in a human body. So, I totally dig their ability to remote view and see the sort of things they do. But this was significant for me because it was, for me, validation, verification, proof that powerful figures that control huge aspects of humanity are actually being they're puppets, and they're being handled. And this exposed that, showed that clearly for anyone with eyes to see. So that was a big one for me.
And here's an interesting thing. We don't even have to look at the big figures. I mean, like Farsight Institute, they definitely have people who pick up on the right stuff. And when you talk to others with their own personal experience, they will share stories that are very similar. Oh, I've been talking to this political figure and they've seen possessed, or I've been around them and kind of they shapeshifted in front of my eyes. So you get these messages. But now if we don't look at the top of, the chain on that smaller scale, think of small people, little influencers, people with voice, people who have YouTube channels, people who are doing channeling, people who are doing various readings and stuff. How easy it is for certain beings to just take over and give information that might have a lot of truth, but just a little lie that will mess everyone up. To keep on giving hope, this falls over, people will be sitting on their asses, not doing anything, waiting for this grand thing to happen. Feeding humanity the dopamine, where it's like constantly looking for something, not doing anything, but getting a dopamine hit. And there's a lot of groups that are messed up in that way, where they're taken over and don't know about it. And it just happens to a lot of people. And even simplest ones. People like in your everyday life. Your mom, sister, sibling, someone else, like in your coworker, your friend list. One day they're walking around you and they just switch for a few seconds, for a few minutes, act as if they're possessed or been taken over, or they're just a whole different being. Like, it happens to a lot of beings. And they cause issues, they cause like this whole miscommunication, misinformation. And groups out there can use various figures around the world to spread misinformation or to try to give something to control humanity. As in, give information that will cause people to believe in certain ideologies or, different belief systems that will have them look for something grand, like, oh, you're big, you're chosen one, you're this, you're special. And it's just like sitting, doing nothing, feeling good about yourself, not taking action. Like a lot of groups get affected in those ways.
Yeah, good point. That reminds me of how easy or how difficult it is to manipulate people. In, whether it's big, powerful figures or it's your next door neighbor. I watched a YouTube video, and this guy was a mentalist or something. And he did one of these social experiment things. So he invited like 4 or 5 influencers, YouTube influencers, like, they got a million subscribers or some shit. So these influencers can influence their audience, right? Thousands, millions of people. Right. So this one guy here, he wants to do a little experiment, and he wants to show what he can do. And the idea is that it's kind of like, how do you explain it? But basically, this guy influenced, he told, I would like all you to make a 1-minute video about a subject. Okay. And they're going, yeah. And they know it's some kind of experiment. They don't know what it is really. So, okay, we're going to make a 1-minute video. Yeah. Now, here are a selection of backgrounds, like environment, like it's going to be outdoors, it's going to be inside, it's going to be in a car. This is the environment. You get to pick. So these 4 guys get to pick a selection of 5 or 6 different things. And now there's a subject. What's the video going to be about? It's going to be about a subject. Is it going to be about a soapbox? Is it going to be about a balloon? Is it going to be about a dog? What's it going to be about? And so they got a selection of things that they can pick. And then there's some other aspect of it and some other aspect. And so he showed, this one guy shows them all. He talks about it, and he shows them all their stuff that they can make a video. They all make the same fucking video. They don't know it. But they all get the same background, same topic, same subject, same every fucking thing. And the videos were a little different, creative stuff, but it all had the same shit in it. And I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? And he explained to the audience that he was going to do this, but the influencers didn't know it when he did the experiment. And it's like, and I couldn't see it. I'm like, okay, what's he doing?
Is it the simple stuff while he talks that assists like NLP as a trigger? Yeah.
Yeah. He's saying words and body language. I caught 1 or 2. I go, well, okay, maybe that was a key, but it was good. It was like, and that was just a big maybe. But he fucking did it to all 4 of these. And these could influence millions of people. Just think what high tech cabal, New World Order bullshit are doing on mainstream media that we don't even fucking know, manipulating the population. It's just weird shit. We got to be on top of it.
I just might, and I'm not sure if I'll see it now. But I've seen this video just this morning. Oh. And it's about 6 minutes long, talking about technology where there's going to be AI prison made in a way where it's like a pod where people are in that stasis or sleeping mode, or in that tank where they're in the water, but most of their body is out,
Deprivation tank sort
Yes.
of thing, or sleep,
Yes.
flotation tank.
And they have VR gear on, and it's like chips and stuff. So if you do a crime or something bad and you're a bad person, and even think of North Korea, where they have the credit system. If you didn't take out your trash, if you're a bad citizen and they take your credits and now you have to do this, there's this punishment where they put on VR gear and you are sitting in the chamber for 1 minute, but they simulate a lifetime, a few years of experience, implanting memories and the shit that you've done. And now you're feeling guilty, and now you've been programmed, and now you've been, affected, and they've kind of shaped you into a better person. You get out, it was just 1 minute in the tank, in the VR gear. And there's this video, I will pull it out later, I will send a link to you, and we can probably make a reaction video to it. But it's just like we've been talking about it for years, even in
Uh,
2015, when I was flying back to Lithuania, of how we're in this, think of this concept. You have an aspect out there, another part of you. Now, we have VR system where we're experiencing stuff, and a lot of people already have this experience where they put VR gear on, and it's so real they get scared. Some zombie comes up and they get scared. They're on this plank looking down, and they're on the skyscraper, they get scared of the heights. So VR
mhm,
gear, even with as limited and small as it is yet, can trigger certain emotions and feeling states inside of us. Now
mhm,
we have costumes where we put on gloves and we're starting to feel stuff, touchy feely.
mhm.
So now, as a conscious being, you have gear that can trigger reality and make it real and intense. And you start believing that the simulated experience is as real as can be, and now you start reacting to it, creating it. And they're just like finally introducing that concept of, yeah, you're in your underwear sitting in this little tank for 1 minute, and they're just gonna shove an experience in your mind, and you've been in prison for 25 years, and there's a lot of stuff that happened, and they reshaped you, and you come out of it as a new person. Like, that's fucked up.
That is fucked up. And that's the technology on planet Earth
Yeah,
now, or just
that they're
coming up soon.
introducing, letting us know
Yeah,
about. They've been doing it
yeah,
for
yeah.
years, and think of the ETs out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the ET's been doing this for millions of years. Those civilizations are millions of years old. And so they already got that high tech. That reminds me of another experiment I saw on YouTube. Uh, the guy, he's sitting at, he's just sitting at a table. He put his hand here. Now there's a board right here next to his hand. Uh, and his real hand is on this side of the board. So he can't see his real hand. But they put a fake hand with the fake shirt sleeve. It's very realistic looking hand. And what they do is take like a pin, not even a sharp pin, but just they go like that with the pin on his real hand, like wherever, but on the fake hand, they do it too. So his eyes are seeing the fake hand and the pin stick, but he's feeling it in his real hand. So they do that a few times to program his mind. And then they just stick the fake hand without sticking the real hand, and he feels it as real as fucking real. And then they did some weird shit and they went wham with a hammer. And it like freaked the guy out. And he felt it didn't hurt his, he didn't fuck his hand up too much. But yeah,
There's been another
simulation.
experience, another experiment where a person was watching TV and made to watch like lava and magma and fire and all the hot stuff around. And
Mhm.
as he was watching all the hot stuff, in the experiment, they poured cold water on the person. But the interpretation, because of what he was watching, was it's
Uh,
hot.
uh,
And that cold water left burn marks. Can you imagine the
fuck.
level of how our brain works to the point
Yeah.
where we assume stuff, we create it and make our body react that way to cold water, leaving burn
Mhm.
marks?
Fucking amazing at how powerful the mind is.
Yeah. And then we go into a lot of beings out there, put stuff in our head, make us feel
Yeah.
stuff, make us think of things that aren't ours, and fuck with our perception to control how we feel, how we react to life, and what we do. And if we buy
Yeah.
into it, and if we cannot differentiate what's ours and what's not, that's a danger zone.
Yeah. Because that thinking, what we're thinking about and what we're feeling, we continue doing it for, a period of time, that will start manifesting. And that's how they control us, deceptively causing us to think and feel certain things. And that's the manipulation they use. And we've got to level up. People have to learn and understand the phenomena that we're talking about. This is my belief. That has to occur for the Earth, the population to pull out of this.